Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trident Talks. This is part of our pre-Black Hat Spotlight series, and I'm delighted to welcome Mark and Cody, both founders at Neon Cyber. Gents, how are we doing?
Good, good. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Enjoy.
Super excited to shine the light on you guys and what you're building at Neon Cyber. I think it's really, really exciting. Mark, if we start with you, for those that don't know, would you both like to kind of give a background into who you are?
Sure. Hey, I'm Mark St. John. I am in Texas. I've been in cybersecurity since the 90s, mostly with a focus around incident response and threat intelligence in the early part of my career, and then moved over into more of a attack surface management style with Cody because really feel like there's been a hygiene element and some real raw fundamentals that we need to focus on in the security world. And then we're moving that passion from attack surface management now into helping people understand the workforce better.
Nice, thank you. Cody, how about you?
Yeah, I've originally from Texas. I'm now in Portland, Oregon, on the West Coast here in the US. And a similar background to Mark. A lot of mine is in offensive cybersecurity. So a lot of vulnerability research, exploit development, and then this is the second company that Mark and I have founded. And we're, as he said, just looking at, workforce cybersecurity and how we think about the problem as it's evolved over the last couple of years.
Okay. So let's get into it. Obviously, you guys are going to be a Black Hat. I don't know who wants to take the stage first, but obviously there was a turning point. You founded the first business, fantastic. Now you're on the second. Is there like a pivotal moment where you thought, okay, there's a gap here. Let's go do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mark, you want to field that or you want me to do it?
No, go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
got to let the CEO talk.
I think we talk about this a lot, and with cybersecurity, really, you're always following the technology and advancements of business. So we're always going to be behind at this of the speed of business. And since the pandemic, we've just seen a huge explosion of growth in multiple different vectors. So you have remote work, you have the distribution of the workforce, you have SaaS applications, and now you have AI. And since we've been in cybersecurity 25 years each, we are just passionate about making sure that we can help the cyber operations teams evolve with that and have the right tooling and the right abilities to secure their organization as they go through these transformations.
Okay. And Mark, if how would you describe Neon Cyber and what it does? I know we're kind of doing it at quite high level here, but if really basic for someone who doesn't understand security, what's Neon Cyber?
Neon Cyber is a way for us to help organizations understand how their users in the course of their workday interact with the outside world. And to us, the outside world now is the World Wide Web. It's SaaS applications. It's the move into where we feel that the browser is becoming the operating system of business, right? Like the majority of us in tech in a lot of the industries are spending a huge chunk of our day in web browsers. And that is a area that we have not had a lot of direct visibility and control of in traditional tooling. We've gotten really good at endpoint protection. We've gotten exceptionally good the past 20 years at network detection and network monitoring. But in between there's a gap. And that visibility gap isn't just about saying, hey, in the past we said, hey, here's ways to allow or block certain behaviors or websites, but that's assuming malicious or nefarious intent of the user. Whereas
Mhm.
now we're to the point where organizations can't keep track of the technology that users are adopting. The growth of AI and all the different tools and the way people are able to build new workflows on the fly, these are things that happen inside of the browser and then are continually used with company data, identities to interact again with the outside world. And so we want to make sure that we're helping people get a good view on that and then also start to get control over that as well.
Okay. I think it's a really important area. I was speaking to quite a few people about, we'll say, browser security as a loose term. And I'll kind of bring it all the way back to there's certain like remote desktops which control accesses and users and bits and pieces. Would you say it's almost like an extension of that? Obviously, it's just straight into the browser. You can have your different departments within the business, like HR only allowed to access certain pathways with the browser, and the same with dev teams and all those bits and pieces.
Yeah, it is, but with a little bit more flexibility for the use cases of the users. I think in the past, when we've tried to do virtual desktops or completely isolated environments, users are now smart, technology smart, right? And they are gonna find ways without malice, without being nefarious, to to get their job done better, faster, quicker, adopt new tools. And they will find ways to break out of that sandbox, and they will find ways to take on new technology that, it part of our job in security isn't just to keep bad things from happening, it's to enable business units to operate with a level of risk that they're comfortable with. And that's how creativity evolves. That's just how business evolves through that. And so we want to make sure that we're sitting as sort of a security team with the users, helping enable that. And so it's kind of a shift away from that complete isolation model.
Okay, brilliant. And Cody, what type of are there certain problems or use cases that you can describe right now, or if not, because I know we haven't kind of like a free ball question. Are there particular sectors that you're focusing on, or clients, or like your ICP?
Yeah, so for the first one, I mean, we look at some of the biggest problems that are affecting every business: phishing, identity compromise. Those are leading to 60% of initial compromises in 2024. We expect that to be the same in 2025. So that's always a focus of what we're doing. And we think it's important that as those attacks, as those phishing campaigns evolve, which they have, make no mistake that it's not a poorly worded email anymore, right? It looks and acts like the real thing. We'll always spend time there with our solution. We think it's going to be the right approach. The other is shadow SaaS, shadow AI. Most large enterprises have hundreds of SaaS vendors, and they're adding more every day. So to Mark's point, that creates a real risk and governance issue. If I'm in HR, I go to ChatGPT, I upload a resume or some information, that needs to be seen and understood from a risk perspective by the operations team and your compliance group.
Mm-hmm.
Those are top of mind for us. And then as far as an ICP, we're still a young company. We're getting a lot of great feedback from the financial sectors, the healthcare sectors. Those regulated sectors are chomping at the bit to get a lot of this. But we're also seeing, smaller organizations that have been hit with a phishing attack, maybe an identity compromise. It happens so fast, and it happens to small and large organizations. But those are ones that are really excited right now that we've talked to.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of use cases that you're going to start pushing out as well. Phishing is always going to be on the agenda, right? I was thinking the other day, if only there's I don't know if this is in your roadmap or not. If it is, I apologize. But if like your cursor, when you're just hovering over the email and you're going to go click a link, it just blanks it out. So no, you can't click that, or just pops up a window and says, "Look, stop, don't double check," like just to track the cursor. Anyway, I'm not a practitioner.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, but what we're seeing is that attackers are pretty savvy to the email security solutions. So they're doing everything they can to make that first initial link look absolutely legit. We see DocuSign that comes from DocuSign.com, Dropbox, like a lot of those first entry points are totally legit. And then once they get you in this legitimate site, then there's some other call to action where you click. And that's why we look at, from our position in the browser, as being pretty strong, because not only do we see that initial click, but we see any type of of follow-on action that may lead to an identity compromise.
Phishing within phishing within phishing.
And I think anybody that's been in security, the attackers are not dumb. They are very smart, and they're also economical, so they're always going to change. And they're always going to improve based on what's trying to block them.
I want to leave a lot for the audience because we're going to do a more in-depth series post Black Hat, which obviously you guys are attending. So, Mark, what's on the agenda for Black Hat? Where can people find you, and how do they connect?
Well, you can connect with us at Neon Cyber on LinkedIn. Reach out to Cody and I directly. We don't have a big booth there. We're young and scrappy, so we don't have the funding there. We will be hosting a few small private events and doing some demos and kicking some things around. We'll have a suite out there for anybody that wants to come and connect with us and see what we're doing and tell us about their problems. It's not just about us getting out there and showcasing what we've built. Like, we want to know the real raw problems that people are seeing, the investments they've made that they may see some gaps in, that they just need a little bit of help and visibility with, and see where we can chime in. Because this is, kind of like we've mentioned the phishing attacks, and now attackers are living off of trusted sites is the term that people call it, right? Like, there's so many ways that we've tried to protect ourselves that are starting to get moved around, and we just want to have chats around that with folks and see, where the biggest thorn in their side has been.
Yeah, it's refreshing to hear that because you always have to understand what problems people are facing in order for you to fix them, right? I speak to quite a few individuals, they've got ideas and they're like, well, actually, like I'm not doing the research. So yeah, first port call, Neil Cyber, can connect with you guys both on LinkedIn, and then hopefully catch a coffee or two at Black Hat. So Mark, Cody, thanks so much for jumping on. We'll catch up at Black Hat, and for anyone who's got any questions, definitely reach out to you both because you're up to something cool.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.